What is going on, people? How are you doing this lovely Sunday? I'm doing quite well. I did absolutely nothing. I was supposed to go to the Kenyan Premier League's big Derby match between Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards, but I got antisocial and I didn't go, and I probably should have went. But see, when Kai's not here, I don't go out and do stuff. Anyway, for anyone that does not know me, my name's Ryan Fagan. I am a real estate broker from the US. We still have the real estate right here. We're based in South Jersey. 13 years of experience in real estate. Um, Overall, as an investor, I've done 8 to 10 flips, some buy and hold, some rental properties. I've worked in a bunch of different industries. I worked as a mortgage loan officer. After the financial crisis and everything, I worked as a property preservation specialist, helping navigating, maintaining, and getting those bank real estate owned properties sold and taken care of. I also worked as a real estate analyst for a commercial appraisal firm in Philadelphia. Very interesting job. And I have been a realtor for a really long time. And I'm in Kenya, Nairobi, doing some investing. And we've launched Almasi Realty, which is our Kenyan real estate company that I'm very excited about. We're still in a soft launch period, but we have been helping lots of clients navigate the real estate market here in Nairobi, Kenya. We actually have a couple land listings that we picked up recently that maybe we should talk about. But we help people buy and sell in Nairobi. And I've been here for almost 5 months now for this. I kind of come back and forth. This is the longest I've been here concurrently. Um, and so, I've been noticing some things. And it's obvious, but I feel like it's time to talk about Nairobi's planning because, poor planning could derail a lot of the development and influx of capital and investment and all the good things going on here in Nairobi just by not having a good city plan. I think, interestingly, Nairobi very much is compared to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, which is something that I wanted to talk about because we're seeing a lot of, like, when you guys watch my videos, a big issue that we spend a lot of time on is what can be built around your project, because the planning won't protect you from something ridiculous happening next to wherever your real estate is. For example, I should have taken a picture of this. The project Marble West in Westlands is like literally touching another building, and that definitely is not in alignment with the zoning plan that's currently in place. And I'm under the understanding that Nairobi County has been directed by the courts to come up with a new modernized zoning plan by the end of the year. And I've been holding out hope that they're going to come up with a good plan, because this poor planning can really derail everything. And it's such a silly reason to destroy value, cause problems, discourage investment, and really take a very beautiful up and coming city and make it kind of crappy, to be honest. Um, Let me share something with you guys to give you some more credentials about um, why I want to talk about this. And you guys know, on the internet, you should know who you're listening to and like why you should be listening to them, in my opinion. And so let me bring this up. Back home in New Jersey, I'm actually on the land use and zoning board. So I'm actually, I'm trying to pull up something here. I probably should have. I was editing a video that I was trying to release right before the live, but I wasn't able to complete it. And let's see. So let's share this with you guys. How's everybody doing? Share screen. So just for your information, this is West Hampton Township. This is where I live. I am on the land development and zoning boards. Here I am. And so I'm pretty familiar with zoning. I'm not the most knowledgeable person. A lot of these guys have more time as zoning officials than myself, but I'm pretty familiar with the stuff. I see some best practices, and so it's getting to me a little bit. I was driving on Olatoktok Road in Killaleshwa. I see a project this close to the next one, and you see it all over the place, and it doesn't have to be this way. If you had good zoning, and and I know a lot of Kenyans are going to say, well, it's not really the zoning on the books that's the problem. It's the enforcement, and people are going to say corruption and all that. And I try not to get into all that because then it leads into politics and such. So I try to stay away from that aspect. But I just wanted to talk about, Nairobi has a really great opportunity right now. It's becoming an international city. It's on the map. A lot of people are coming. There's a lot of investment coming. I guess not everyone thinks that's a good thing, but if with good policy, not even just with zoning, but with, dealing with the rules with foreign investment, that money should be helping people in Kenya as well. It shouldn't be in enclaves of foreign investors for sure. That money should be spreading around. So the more money that comes, the wealthier everyone can become in Kenya and Nairobi. And what I'm concerned about is just simple poor planning and enforcement. Like if I'm a developer, you could really be discouraged from investing because I'm going to buy some land, I'm going to put up a project, and then someone's going to put one up right next to me that's touching mine. Touching the dang on balconies is crazy. Like literally you'll have a balcony and then the other balcony, right? You could jump across it. That's crazy. That's such poor planning. They need better rules. MH, hey friend, yes, I fear our friends who claimed about corruption were right. Yes, because I know that the side setbacks are supposed to be 3 meters each and the street setback should be 6 meters. So why are buildings touching each other? But even the 3 meter side setback, meaning that if this is the edge of your property here, you need to be 3 meters off of the edge and then 3 meters from the next edge. That's not nearly, so there should be some sort of ratio depending on how tall a building is next to it, what you can do with the spacing. Because actually a commenter came up and said, how would you get a fire truck in between the buildings and all kinds of issues that come up with that. Although concrete buildings are less prone to having fire problems. But, I think things will continue to get better, but I'm really banking on them catching up. So I've been consulting with a lot of you guys, and one of the things that I've been explaining, or at least from my perspective, is that the market, the development is ahead of everything. So property management, infrastructure, city planning, zoning, enforcement has not caught up to the rapid level of development. And I mean, that's a natural thing. Like, because it's happening so fast, it's very understandable that the systems, especially government, have not caught up to resolving this. At the same time, though, there needs like you need a task force. You need this issue needs to be seriously addressed, because you mess around and mess up the whole city, it would be terrible. One of the other things that makes Nairobi special, and it's funny because the Chinese recognize this. When I talk to the Chinese developers, they love how green Nairobi is. And that's one thing that I love about Nairobi, is that it's green. And so we don't want a concrete jungle, and some simple zoning requirements could really protect the greenery, requiring a certain amount of green space. Maybe you're not allowed to take so many trees down. If you do take trees down, you need to put them somewhere else on your lot. Second thing is sidewalks and the appearance out front. In the United States, they make you responsible for the sidewalk out front of your property and such. And I think that would be a smart idea in Nairobi, because you wouldn't need taxpayers to pay to fix all the sidewalks and roads, and the government is not really equipped to do all of that. So when people need building approvals, you should mandate that they have to fix the sidewalk, they have to put trees out there. And there's so much development going on that you could get the developers to pay for it. I mean, the developers already, like where I live at, they fixed the road over a couple different times already. And they actually, competing developers, work together sometimes to fix the roads on their own behalf, because it behooves you to have good infrastructure. And it's just like, it's just very frustrating, man, because again, it's such a beautiful city. It's an exciting time. There's a lot of opportunity, but it could be really squandered in the next few years without proper planning. Hey, for MH, what's going on? Andy Warner Travels, how are you? We do love Nairobi. We want the best for Nairobi. Maybe maybe I shouldn't have an opinion about this, but I'm sorry, guys, I do. And it's a concern. And so, like if I consult with someone and they're concerned, like when people have legitimate concerns, I just tell you that it's a legitimate concern. And basically that concept that I'm talking about, where the development is outpacing all the systems behind it, is becoming an issue. And we'll talk about property management as well. I think is something that I really want to, I've been talking a lot about, but it's a theme that's becoming more important looking at these projects, and something that we want to pay more attention to, that I think we haven't been paying enough attention to, honestly. And I'll give you guys some reasons why and my perspective on that. Hey, friend, yes, I fear our friends who claimed about corruption were right. Development needs infrastructure, and usually that needs good governance, because these foreign developers will just build with no regard to the market terms. Yes, because the developer, once they sell the project, the units, some of them just run away and do the next one. And so if these projects are not maintained, the infrastructure is bad, even though they're good projects, they could deteriorate, not become very not desirable, et cetera, et cetera. And I think also the developers will go away, because there'll be no more things left to do, or they'll just go to different areas or different countries, because it's all messed up. Jesse Whitehorn, what's going on? Comparing to major cities in the States, as an example, downtown Chicago buildings are inches apart from each other. Yeah, so you can do that, but it's not organized enough, right? So you'll have a balcony and a balcony, and I think if you knew what your neighbor was capable of building, then you could redesign your stuff. And I think I just think there needs to be a little bit more rules, and they need to be enforced if they're not being enforced. The developers don't care because they sell and move on. Next African country is in sight. Yeah. And see, that's not happening in Ethiopia from what I've been looking at. And so that's the thing. Also, Nairobi could continue to do really well if, because if the money goes away, it's going to change everything. I fear that it's corruption too. Willis Wilson, what's going on? I was going to hit you up because I was going to ask you to go to the game, which I ended up not going to because I was by myself and I got antisocial. We should have went to the game. I'm sorry. Andy Warner Travels. Just the Chicago skyscrapers were first built over 50, 100 years ago. Much of that we know today. That knowledge, yeah, that's true. Kai talks about pavements every single ride along. Is it because, the sidewalks being messed up is annoying because it would be nice. It's not, there's areas that are, look, Kenyans walk because they're used to walking, but there's certain areas that are annoying to traverse because the sidewalk and there's holes and ditches and rubble around. And I'm not really, I don't mind it actually, but it's annoying because why don't you just make the developers fix it? Like it's a problem that can be easily fixed. And so why not fix it? Is it the end of the world that the sidewalk's not that great? No, not to me. Just started 17 minutes ago. My building is too closer to the one next to it in Mombasa, but fortunately I am on a higher floor. Yeah. And then look, this is what's going to happen as people become more aware of this. They're going to not want to buy things, and it's going to affect the economy and the prices and everything, because now you have to be so scared to buy something that maybe you don't do it. For example, the Diplomat guys, actually, almost everything is sold out except for the backside of their Block B. But the backside of Block B has a lot that's big enough to probably build a high rise. Also, it's easy for someone to purchase because it's only 2 houses there. So usually, like if it's a lot of different owners, it's a little bit harder to convince them all to sell, and you need them all so that you get all the land to be able to build. And so there's a bunch of units available on that side and nothing available anywhere else. Unless you want to take a big risk, I have not advised anyone to buy on that backside. Now, if you are interested in the Diplomat, still hit me up because every day we get new availability. Sometimes people stop paying or different things happen. So you can get access. Also, there are 2 bedrooms available with the Karua Forest view, which looks good. And I just bring up the Diplomat because we deal with it quite a bit. And, in my opinion, it's the best investment in Westlands, although the availability is making us have to look elsewhere. Side note, Hefe Palace, which has probably the next best location or equally good location to the Diplomat, has their building materials and they're doing their excavation. And they are a new developer in Kenya from China. When they claim stuff in China, I kind of disregard it because how can I verify that information? So my advisory on Hefe Palace has always been that it's a bit risky because we haven't seen anything from them. From the building materials, the tiles, the vanities. I didn't see the kitchen cabinets, but from the materials I did see, um, it was quite encouraging. So it's kind of bumped up in the ranks, especially because we're kind of looking for the next best project for investments in Westlands. We like Luminara for that, but Hefe Palace, because of the location, if we feel like their quality is going to be good, and we still have to see finishing, so uh, it rose in the tier list in my mind a little bit. I'm more willing to consider it just for you guys that are looking for Westlands investment properties. But we like Diplomat number one, Luminar number two, Hefe Palace is coming up. People ask about Marble West. Um, Marble West should have a show house, but it doesn't have a show house. It also bothers me that it's touching another building. That developer is also doing Mont Bleu. Again, where's the show house? Now, they did do Marina Bay, which Marina Bay, I liked it quite a bit. But I don't know. It's not been on my radar so much because they have not taken the time to do a show house, which kind of bothers me because why? I thought you went back to the States. Not yet. Next month, I've been extending my stay because we are training Almasi Realty. We're not hiring real estate people, so I'm training people from zero to do things the right way, the way that I want them to do it, the way with integrity, transparency, and focusing on educating and guiding clients rather than trying to sell them stuff. Because if you guys want to buy something, our job really is to just give you the options and give you our best advice and inform you, especially if you're not from here, the location dynamics, the developer history, the nuance between different locations. Because I'm in Kilimani, but I'm not in the part of Kilimani where it's all crazy and they're building on top of each other, although there is a project building right next to us. I don't have any traffic on my street, et cetera, et cetera. So, um, people try to Google information and all that stuff, but there's no substitute for being on the ground and looking around. Plus, we've been negotiating some good deals. We have 3% discount if you buy with Almasi at Luminara. We give you a 2% discount for all Wonder properties. So that's Executive Suites on Riverside, the Diplomat in Westlands. They have some new projects coming up in a really good location, but I don't know what the pricing or layouts or anything is. So we'll have to wait and see what's up with that. So those are the two promotions that we have. And yeah, anyway, Jesse Whitehorn, no corruption. It's just the way states does things. Americans don't worry about views as much. If they want views, that's when they pay the $3 million and go up. Yeah, true. Sewage and drainage need to be worked on too, and you should speak on this. You're now a stakeholder. Yeah, I would speak on it, but I don't know any real information. And people keep saying that it's a problem, but like, we'd have to speak to an engineer who knows about this stuff or something that is aware, like, what is the sewage and drainage issue? What's the capacity of the city? I don't like just talking. So like, we need the right people to talk to with the actual data. And that's the hardest thing here, is finding people that want to talk about this stuff, are willing to talk about it, and are qualified to talk about it, and actually talk about data. Because if you guys watch stuff and read comments, there's a lot of people just talking. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. They're in our comments just saying anything, and it's just like rumors and hearsay. And some of it is true, but some of the stuff is conspiratorial. Look, I hear all the narratives out there, but I don't absorb the information unless we can verify it somehow. And advise everybody else to take that. For example, the Airbnb rates, vacancy rates. I don't like to do a lot of financial calculations, even though, I went to college for this, right? Like, the reason I don't is because I think the underlying data is not reliable. So if I'm making decisions on a quantitative side, on, return on investment, price per square meter, stuff like that. For example, price per square meter would be very helpful, but I don't trust the developers' gross square meters. They include things in a strange way. Sometimes part of the common areas are included, the balconies are included. If you guys notice, I'll ask them how big the balcony is every time, what's the depth of the balcony, and they rarely know the answer to that. And I know there's a drawing, and I'm like, why don't salespeople ask the depth of the balcony? Because just because they tell you you're going to have a balcony, is it usable? Is it even big enough? I've seen projects with a balcony, you can't even, all you could do is stand out there. Well, then I might as well not even have it. Mustafa, what's going on? JB, what's going on, man? Yeah, that diplomat view is going away. It's going to drag down the other unit's value. Yeah, so, this is the problem, because now, when this is the thing here, actually, and my perspective here in Kenya, when I operate, is that you can only trust yourself, your own eyes, and maybe the opinions of a whole bunch of professionals all combined together when it's cohesive. And because you can't trust anything, you have to move very carefully, which basically makes you very conservative with your money, which you should be here. Which again is what we try to help people with, deciphering through all this information. If you had clear rules, for example, I've looked at building some things in the US, or buying a lot, or doing certain things, and you can know what you're able to build. I could basically take a Google Earth image, figure out what space I can use, what space is not allowed, or where I'll have to ask for extra permission or a variance. And then I can know what's happening around my lot. And the level of certainty makes it easier to make a purchase decision or not. And why would anyone take the risk of buying something if they don't even know enough information about it? And then they're going to invest $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, whatever, to develop something when you don't know what's going to happen, or to buy an apartment. I understand people being concerned. Man, I was impressed with the finishing of the Diplomat. They exceeded my expectations. My concern with the Diplomat was always going to be, are they really going to improve from this place, which I stay at, which is the same developer? Because this place is cool, but it's not that nice. The Diplomat, I feel like they nailed it. I don't love the gray tiles in the bathroom. I think they're good tiles individually. I just don't think it goes with the decor that much, but that's a small complaint. I love that they give us a lot of closets, lighting, desk. You don't have to do a lot of furnishing. And I think it reaches a quality standard that any international travelers going there will appreciate. People are concerned about having 800 plus units. That's never been much of a concern to me, because again, there's thousands of units coming on the market around that same time period. And so everyone's going to have to fight it out. And we'll see. And this is the thing. Poor planning can really mess Nairobi up. Like the demand is coming in, but if people start feeling like, if I invest in this 2 years later, my investment and the value is destroyed because of poor infrastructure, poor planning. They're building crazy stuff right next to me, or damaging my building because they're excavating so close to my building that it's hurting my foundation. There's all kinds of crazy problems. Water, power issues, sewage, like people are talking about, which I don't know if there's a sewage problem. People keep bringing it up, but like someone's going to have to describe it to me a little bit better. I guess there probably could. I mean, it seems probable that there is potentially an issue, but I've never personally observed a sewage problem before. Marina Bay is falling up. I have to go over there. I don't know if that's true or not, but MH is pretty reliable. We got to talk about management. It's important. Mont Bleu Show House is available. It is. Oh, we'll have to go over there. So maybe they're doing the show house at Mont Bleu and not Marble West, but that's weird because I thought they started Marble West first. Did you see the Verona show house? Jesse, yeah, I saw what you sent me. It looked pretty good. Mont Bleu wasn't bad. Yeah, because the Marina Bay people are pretty good. Just had the topping event. Yeah, I saw that. We didn't get invited. We didn't get invited to the Cheval one on Riverside, which looks really cool. We're still in a soft launch for Almasi, so I'll give them a pass on that. That's okay. No, have they been posting, Jesse? I'm excited to see it. They have a great layout, hired a great. Yeah, okay, but what's up with Verona? I don't see them making a lot of progress on that structure over there. Something's weird about the people to me, man. Sorry. Strange. Hey, Ryan, have you noticed the decline in real estate purchase since the Middle East war and fuel? No, I think Nairobi benefits from instability in the Middle East. Those Dubai investors, people, Nairobi, come on, Nairobi, they're not shooting missiles. Yeah, the sidewalk's messed up, but we can fix it. Come on down, come to Kenya, come invest. Plus, you don't have all them crazy laws they got over there. Guys, I don't like, look, I was in Iraq and all that, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I don't got no interest in the Middle East, to be honest. Fuel shortage, there was never a shortage. The price did go up, though. With the collapse of buildings and building extremely close to each other, it may not be a good idea to buy. Renting may be better so you don't lose money. Yeah, it depends. I always tell people, especially in consultations, there's more risk buying here. It's more risk, guys. If you're conservative, you don't like taking any risk, don't buy. Literally, don't do it. Even for me. So if you're in my members, I talk about some of the investments I make in the capital markets here in Nairobi. I only put them in members only because I am not promoting it, and I get worried that you guys will chase these very high return percentages, but it's a lot of risk. Plus, I don't know, can these companies go out of business? I don't know. I'm not moving my life savings or any amount that would make me jump out of a window if I lost it. And so I invest with a certain amount that I'm okay with risking. And I think that's an important thing to point out to you guys is I think you guys get it because I'm not promoting Nairobi. I'm not promoting real estate in Nairobi. I am providing information for those of you guys that are interested and my perspective on it. I don't care if you buy or not. I don't think you should buy if you're scared of the risk. I tell people that. I had a consultation yesterday, and a lot of you guys do this. You guys mentally decide to move to Kenya, and y'all ain't been to Kenya before. And when they say that, I say, stop. Stop it. Just come visit. Rent a place. What I would recommend, get an Airbnb at Westlands, get an Airbnb in Kilimani for a little bit, go to the coast, go to a different Airbnb, see what's going on, take the SGR, go to do some normal things that you like to do, go shopping, whatever. Guys, don't they're like, I want citizenship. I want to go get my residency. I'm like, just visit, please. Like, stop. Because moving fast is how you're going to crash out anyway. Because you're going to trust the wrong person, something's going to happen, you're rushing, you want to get everything done. This is a place where you need to have the right networks, you need to know the right people, you need to take your time and learn. You know, you might like your apartment, but do you like the area you're in? Just take your time, please. You don't have to spend $4,000 getting your retirement visa. Get the $100 ETA if you're really committed. Get the $250 5-year ETA if you're in the US, where you can keep coming in and out 90 days at a time. Chill. Right? Give me bay windows instead of a pathetic 1 point. Yeah. You know, that's what I like about the Diplomat 2-bedroom. They have bay windows in both bedrooms. That's really nice. And if you buy, it's the B10 and the A9 unit facing Karua Forest. Very nice. Thoughts on Silva? I usually don't like these hyped up places that are real expensive, but that location, yes. But it's 12 million Kenyan shillings for a studio. Is it worth it? I actually think yes. I think if you buy over there, you'll be in a really good situation. I like it. I haven't been to their office yet, but I'm just saying in theory, I like the theory of what it is. I have to do more analysis. I've been training. So it's been a little hard for me to get everywhere. And I owe you guys some more content. I might actually have a video on Belgravia. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Don't let me forget to talk about management. I have some key points to talk about there that contributes to the overarching point that I wanted to make about Nairobi planning. Z, among all the developments you've seen so far in Westlands, which has impressed you the most? I don't know if it impressed me the most, but the Diplomat is the best investment. I'm sorry. Location and the price is unbeatable. Feels like stealing. Impressed the most? I have a lot of high hopes for Luminara. I really like them. I'm biased. I like them as people. I like the developer. I like Mona over there. I like their sales team. I like the attention to detail that they're giving things. I think the one that probably would be the most impressive, actually, though, would be Brookside Oak. The developer of all the oaks is really high quality, and I like the renders, and I really like the location. But the price, 8.2 for the 1 bed starting, is quite high. But that area in Brookside is probably worth the price. We didn't do a video over there, but I've been there. I'd like to go over there and do a more of an assessment, and Oak West as well. I haven't been in Oak West, and that's probably a hole in my Westlands criteria because they're really good. Bianca, you're opening my mind to things I never even thought about. This is so cool. You have a lot of knowledge on this topic. Keep doing what you're doing what you love. You could tell it's your passion. Thank you. And, you know, that was the whole point of this, is to expose people to something. I'm not promoting it. I'm just like, guys, the life is short. The world is big. Don't waste it. I wake up every day thinking that. When I come, I'm like, dang, how am I in Kenya? I'm in Africa? Really? Never even thought about it before. I have a whole company out here. We're employing people. What? So, and we're helping people. And the people I meet, I met some cool people the other day at Ivy Park. Shout out to, if you're listening, I won't drop their names, but um, super cool conversation, very talented people. Everyone has such an interesting story. I really love it. Like, I really love being here. I get to do business, which now we can make some money actually. And business to me is fun, figuring things out, dealing with the risks here, and also helping you guys avoid some of the problems is very rewarding. I've just been having a blast, even though I've been a little stressed. It's just like we've been doing a lot. Uh, I'm running at 100% of my capabilities at the moment, and I know I've been slacking on the content. I've been training a team. I'm trying to figure out certain things, but I appreciate that. Mr. America, hi Ryan. What do you think about Shovel? Looks really cool. They didn't invite me. I don't know. I didn't get an invite to the event, but I like what it looks like. We gotta, but guys, like really getting a hold of a development takes a lot of time. We got to spend probably 2.5 hours with the developer or the salespeople or whoever we can get access to, going over the project, doing a site visit, looking at the area, trying to figure out what's going on next to it, the lots around it, because again, your value will get destroyed because of the poor planning and zoning rules. The developer history, we got to go look at their other projects. We got to ask them a lot of questions. A lot of due diligence. I try to get to the Chinese. Sometimes they won't have a person that you can speak to because they may not speak English. So usually my goal is to get to the highest ranking level person. And so if you guys notice, like certain developers, we'll talk about more because I have more access to them. And it makes me feel more comfortable because we have access to them, honestly. Like I could call the director for Wonder Properties right now and talk to him if I needed to. I wouldn't, I'm not going to waste time, but same thing with Luminara. Actually, it's funny. We had a pretty big meeting with the Golden Mansion people. And that was kind of interesting. So we'll see. They have another project coming up. They invited us to the event. They were, I told them I didn't really like their project that much, because I have to be honest. And I add this to the list of things we need to talk about is the integrity, because what I do here on the channel, and now we do have a business where we get commission when people buy property, which is, we have to be really careful about maintaining our integrity, because the whole reason why you guys watch is because you trust the information generally, or at least it's good information. I'm not saying you have to follow it or anything, but people find it valuable. And so we cannot be bought. But for example, the Luminara people, I really like them. I like what they're trying to do. They align a lot with like my philosophy on how to do things. I feel like they actually care about quality, but I'm biased, Good weather makes up for the bad pavement. Exactly, it does. But can we fix the pavement? I would live in Verona if they'd have me. Yeah, I don't think they want everybody. Ain't that crazy? Daniel, have you viewed any developments by Royal Legend in Kilimani? I don't know that. I don't know who they are. Dr. Ako, family doctor. Hey, Ryan, thank you for sharing your experience and connections in Nairobi. We retain your legal partner, FKC Legal, while we were in Westlands for just 8 days. We really appreciate you. Thank you. How was your experience? Because there are a couple people complaining, but I never know because, you know, some people, standards, I don't know. But I think most people have been happy with them. But please give me feedback, especially positive feedback, because sometimes I only hear like negativity. You know, people are more likely to leave a negative review than a positive one. If they're happy, then they don't say anything. But from my own information, if you have a good experience, please let me know as well. Because again, I cut it on referrals. I'm putting my name and reputation a little bit on the line, and so I don't want them. I don't want to be looking bad sometimes. So sometimes when people complain, I'm like, then I'm trying to figure out whose fault it is. Is it reasonable? I don't know. See, that's the inside information, guys. I'm trying to navigate this whole world and do the right thing, but also do good business. So it's a little interesting to balance everything. Ryan's right. If you're having doubts, then maybe investing in Nairobi and Kenya is not for you. No one should convince you to buy. Yeah. I would feel bad if I encourage someone to buy and then something goes wrong. I think they need to fully know the risks. And we try our best to give the risks and and also the options, this project versus that project, the pros and the cons, and let you make a decision on whatever you want to do. No accountability, no enforcement. Yeah. And I see people complain about the governor. I think that's the oldest trick in the book where it becomes personalized in politics, where it's like, it's all this person's fault. And then they get rid of that person, they give you a new person, and then everyone calms down for a while, and then you have the same problems. And then they're like, it's this guy's fault. It's like the oldest political trick in the book is keep throwing people under the bus when these issues, I think, are systemic and societal. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm on one today because a lot of people complain about the government. They're always trashing the government, complaining this is broken, corruption, this and that. First of all, the government is a reflection of the people in some ways. I mean, not in North Korea and certain places, and maybe less so here because of how the system works. But this is going to be critical. Hopefully they don't throw tomatoes at me. But I love it here. I love the people here. But it is an observation. The same person saying everything's corrupt and messed up and nobody does nothing right be walking down the street and throws trash on the ground or throws crap outside their car. And I'm like, this is a beautiful place and you're destroying it. And I'm sure they don't think or care or even consider that. But if you're willing to litter your own place, what does that say about you? And I don't think you can complain about anybody else when you're the problem. I see it every day. People throwing stuff outside their car, walking down the street, just throw it. And Nairobi County paid a bunch of money to put these fancy trash cans all over the place, which is kind of funny because why did y'all pay all this money to put all these trash cans? And the trash can't be sideways because the road is messed, or the sidewalk or the dirt that it's on is messed up. But there's a lot of people that just blame the government and corruption for everything. And I find that's an Africa thing. Meanwhile, you try to hire somebody to do something and they don't do a good job and they don't care. And I'm like, okay, so you're complaining about the government, but when I hired you to come fix these cabinets that I wanted installed, you did a lazy half-ass job. So then you want to complain and say that these politicians are doing a lazy half-ass corrupt job when you tried to get the most money possible for the least amount of work without any effort and you didn't show up on time. Like, I'm sorry, but individuals need to hold themselves accountable because there's a lot of people complaining about the systems in government and y'all ain't doing the right thing either. Sorry. It's a thing. There's a lack of accountability because when I try to hire somebody or get something done, the behaviors of people is generally pretty weak. And then they'll turn around and say the economy is bad, this is corrupt. I've had these conversations. And it's like, well, you're the same as these people you're complaining about. Clip that one. We'll see how that goes. MH said that. I don't know how, you know, I'm not saying that. And so Kerr, Ryan, in your assessment, what do you think about the progress on Emerald Spring and Westlands, and how do you think it compares to the project in Kilimani? The GY Group is one of the best developers I've seen. Emerald looks great. It's becoming a landmark in Westlands. They put that nice green light on the building. I really like them a lot. Criticism is that their 58 square meter one bedroom is pretty small, but they delivered exactly what they said they were going to deliver so far. We haven't seen the common areas or anything like that. It's a little annoying because this other crappy developer that built Shangri-La is building another project right next to them that's going to block some of their views, and it's like pollution to me. And so you have this really nice building, Emerald, and then you have these other crappy developers around them. It's annoying. So Amethyst does not have their NEMA approval. They have not been able to do the groundbreaking. Amethyst, I'm sure, will deliver as good or probably better than even Emerald. Their pricing is very steep for Kilimani. Also, I think they're about 33% sold. But the problem is that who knows when they're going to even be able to begin the process because the community is fighting that development. Also, I like Dennis Pritt, but I don't like the particular road and area that Amethyst is at, honestly. I didn't love the site, but one of the best developers, and whenever they clear up the issue, I'm sure they'll deliver well. I think they have another project coming up in Westlands, but I don't have the details yet. Belgravia looks nice, but the prices are high for the location. Can you explain the DSQ and studio differences? Yeah, so the prices are high. That's why I've been pushing, because at the discounted price, it's still high, but it's not as like outlined or out of the market range. Especially the one bedroom is actually in line. Now, my point with first, I think, excuse me, oh my goodness. First, they're going for a higher end thing. So if the quality is higher, they can justify the price. This is what I told them. This is why they're doing the show house at the GTC that is coming up in August. So people will be able to see the show house way earlier. and decide if it's worth the value. So let's get into Belgravia. Belgravia is the same people as Luminara. I really like them, but it is they're going for a luxury thing in Kilauea. Sorry guys, I can never multitask very well, so I'm looking at my files here. I want to show you the really interesting selling feature that they're doing. Well, how should I do this? Let me show you the render first. I'll show you what the building looks like. I got drone footage from there to show the views, the different layouts. We did the site visit video. Hey, stop that. I did the site visit video. That's going to be coming out to members only, and then, in the next couple of weeks to the public. Okay, let me hit the share button. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Let me share an image. Belgravia. Oh no. Sorry guys, 1 second. Why did that not work? Oh, here we go. Is this working? Okay, so here's the building. Obviously, that's not what's around it. Let me take this down. And let me add the PDF. Oh my goodness, there's so many buttons I have to press. Wait. Oh, I can add more images. Okay, let me do the 2-bedroom because this is the one that I was interested in. Okay. I did visit Diamond Bay. I did not like it at all. I don't even consider it because I went to the event and I saw the show house and I did not like it. The only reason you buy that is because you want to save monies. Okay, guys. I guess you can't see my mouse. On the bottom right-hand side, you see how it says mini studio. That is the DSQ for this. Certain units have a mini studio that's bigger than a normal DSQ. It also has a kitchen. So at the bottom right side, it actually has the sink, the stove, and I think you should have space for a refrigerator. Obviously, you can only put a small bed, but then it has a bathroom, and the balcony is 2.2 meters, which is full size for these units. So it's getting natural light. I think it's very interesting. And you could probably rent that out for maybe 20,000 Kenyan shillings if you're going to rent it to somebody. I think it's cool. Like, if, Americans, we don't really have the house help thing. So that's a little bit different for us. But even like I think like my brother, if he came, maybe he gets his own space because we don't always super get along super much. So like you could go over there. It's 22 net square meters for the mini studio. That's a New York small apartment size. So it could be a revenue source. If you have house help, it's a much better place to put them or to let them stay. I think it adds a lot of flexibility. So they have these in the 2 and the 3-bedroom. And I think you have to value it a little differently than other properties that don't have that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from when I'm talking about that. Actually, let me add some of these other floor plans here then, since we're talking about this. So this is the 3-bedroom. Again, the balcony is 2.2 meters. Actually, for this mini studio, it's a little bit smaller. I'll try to show you guys some renders as well. Maybe I'll do it from the website. I like their decor style, but yes, it's a bit expensive. And then here's one of the 1-bedrooms. And so I'm not used to adding the images like this. Let me image file. Is this the other 1-bedroom? And then here's the other 1-bedroom. So it has 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. It only has 214 total units in it. It's going to have like a courtyard with a waterfall that's like 2 stories, and it has like basically the whole lobby area is open, and they have gardens and stuff, which is going to be, I think, really cool. There's no render about it yet. Then there's going to be a mezzanine or first floor level indoor outdoor restaurant. There's going to be a whole bunch of amenities on the roof, cafe, co-working space. Definitely on the higher end. So the quality is going to have to deliver for sure. Dr. Deca, what's going on? Let me bring up what it's going to look like a little bit. Also, right now, so if you do just a normal 20% deposit, they're giving you the 50% price. So it's quite discounted. Let me share this. Okay, so here's some of the other pictures. This is like their decor style that they're using. See, like the reason why it's a bit more expensive is if you look at the top, you have the wood soffit up here. And then you have the extra large balcony, and then you have these curves and stuff. It's also lit. They have lighting here, kind of like Pandora, actually. This is the 3-bedroom design. Again, the wood on the top. They're trying to keep this tree line. You'll see in the video when it comes out. This is like the style that they're going with. Boom. I think I showed this last week, but that's the 3-bed kitchen. Cool. Here's the 2-bed bathroom, and it comes with a tub. The tub is in the shower, though, so it's like the Japanese style they were saying. Smart toilet. I just found that out. This is all the 3 bedrooms. Some people don't like the pink. We were talking about that. Way different earthy type of style versus a lot of this stuff we've been seeing. I like the 2-bedroom bedroom how they look. Let me get to that. Not this one. Like, this is my favorite bedroom. I like how this is. I really like this textured stuff on the wall. And then I really like how that looks. This is the 2-bed balcony. So they're trying to take advantage of all the green space. And so that's kind of what you're looking at there. All right, let's get back to the comments. What's going on at 1870 seems to be, that's called Hosket Salt Takes Forever. And you guys paid a whole bunch of money to wait. Why? I don't know. It does look cool, but whatever. Curious to hear about your assessment on Nairobi's growth. We'll talk about it. FKC never replied to me. Oh my gosh. I got a screen. I'm screenshotting this. I'm going to text it to them. See. Hold on. I'm literally sending this to them. My experience was good and is still good. We are purchasing property. We'll continue to work with them to get KRA PINs residency. Nice, nice. The government has to go, though. No comments about the government from me. Yep, people get the leaders they deserve. If they didn't learn the lesson, it will keep happening. I stepped out of the room. Did you mention anything? I have not. And people just like to complain online. Less than 30% of Kenyans. Really? They don't vote? Where would you buy today if you had a chance besides Diplomat? The first thing that came to my mind was Luminar, but that's like an investment situation. I was going to say Belgravia. I'm excited about that. I like the mini studio concept and the higher end feel. And Kilauea, but it is expensive. We've been thinking about the things that are purchasable to me. Luminara, maybe Hefe Palace, Brookside Oak if you have the budget for that. I can't say Amethyst because the price and they don't have their approval. Berkeley Homes if you're looking for something cheap. We were in Siokimau. They have guys, and if you're gonna buy stuff, contact us. What the heck? In Siokimau, there's a developer that has a studio for 2.9 million near the national park. It doesn't face the national park. I was thinking about buying it just for the heck of it. I don't know how a studio is going to do in Siokimau. It's very intriguing over there. Like if you want bigger space, you could get a 3-bedroom from 8 to 10 million Kenyan shillings, under 100,000 USD. I think it's very good for some people. That's Mango Tree. I like them. We were trying to add more to our knowledge base in Siokimau, but I feel like Mango Tree is the best. Because we went to another one, Mara Grove, but I didn't like their positioning that well. That's really it, I think. Belgravia. Nothing else really excites me too much. I don't know. Yeah, the Diplomat was just everything. And so now, aside from that, it's a little tough. If you're an investor, I'd probably say Luminar or Hefe Palace. I would skip. Maybe I got to go look at my Blue show house, but in my mind right now, I skip Mont Blue, I skip Marble West, I go straight to Luminar after Diplomat, and then I'd consider Hefe Palace. But it's hard to pay Hefe Palace's price when the Diplomat was cheaper. That's the only thing about that for me. Mont Blue has a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom show house. The show house. Oh, okay. We got to check that out. Have you visited Diamond Bay? Oh, yeah, we talked about it. Did these developments consider extractors in the bathrooms? Yeah, they have them if they don't have a window generally. It's very narrow, very different from what's on the market studio-wise. I forget how many meters it is wide. Mona told me. Yeah, it's not a full-size 40 square meter studio. It's half the size of a normal studio. But I think it has a lot of utility. Other places are doing no, but The mini studio comes with the unit. A 40 square meter studio is going to cost you $5 million at Diplomat. At Berkeley Homes, it's in the 4.8 type range, right? So you're getting basically what, a 22 square meter studio attached to your 128 square meter 2-bedroom at Belgravia. And the studio has, well, yeah, I mean, when you're comparing it to the 40 square meter, they both have kitchens and stuff. So the 2-bedroom, you're kind of getting a 3rd bedroom, is kind of how to think about it. I mean, if you don't like the decor style and you're not looking for like a higher end thing, I don't think you would consider it, because it is more higher priced. It's the same thing like Brookside Oak, or the oaks in general are more expensive. Actually, we have to tour Oak West. We have to tour Luna Oak. And I want to do videos for Brookside Oak as well, probably all the oaks, because that's probably a gap in our information right now, but it's on our list. I'm trying to get to it. We've had a lot of clients coming in, and I'm doing all the showings with the team so that they can learn. So it's very time consuming. So we're trying to get to everything. I'm trying to see the value. I don't see the images. What happened? Oh, did I not show it? Oh no, I didn't do it right. Oh no. Hold on. Can you see now? It's kind of small though. This whole time I was not showing it. This is the decor style, the 3-bedroom. This is the balcony, 2.2 meters for the 3-bed. This is again the style that they're going with. See, the top has the wood, and it has like hidden lights up there. Again, if you look at the top here, they have some wood, they have some different dimensional things going on. This is again the 3-bed. And you know, renders are renders, so again, the show house will be done in August. I think that'll really, this is the bathroom again. So this tub, I think, is in the shower area. It's the Japanese style that they were explaining. And then these are the different bedrooms. Some people didn't like this pink textured panel. I think the bathroom's pretty cool. Definitely way more earthy than the shiny tiles that you see in a lot of spots. I like this, how this is, but I like the 2-bedroom the best. I do like these textured wall panels though. But let's go to the 2 beds. Not that one. What happened? Sorry. I want to get to the 2-bed bedroom. This is my favorite. I was going to do this at my house in Jersey. I was going to get some textured wall panels like that for my bed. And then, yeah, I like this on the closet. Just my personal taste. The balcony. There are a lot of trees out front. You'll see them in the video. This is the 2-bedroom design renderings, 1-bedroom. And this is supposed to be real stone here. So I think he's changing these lights. He said they're too exotic. This is the 1-bedroom kitchen, 1-bedroom bathroom, bedroom. That's the living room for the 1-bedroom. So yes, that's what. There you go. Sorry, guys. Please share your screen again. Sorry. Hey, Ryan, do you think it's viable to overhaul an apartment unit in order to ask for a higher rent? And if you, yeah, it doesn't make much economic sense to do that, though. I mean, I guess if you bought an older one, but then you're, uh, and then trying to get the right people to renovate it properly. And then you're still in an old building that is going to look old on the outside. I don't know why you would do it unless you were able to get it for really super cheap. Oh no, they've built nothing in Nairobi. We have to trust it. Yeah, that's the only thing. Oh, can you please explain 20% down? No, it's not 50% off. It's that the bigger deposit you put, the cheaper the price is. So they're giving you their 50% deposit pricing for only putting 20% down. Don't scare us now. I think Belgravia may have Gaia Beat. They definitely have Gaia Beat. I like Gaia's location, but their layout is not that good. And the buildings are too close together. I spent a lot of time there. I've kind of reassessed my thoughts on that. You're right about the lazy approach to work with some handy people. Yeah. Do any of the places you recommend allow customization because I want a large balcony? There's certain things, but making the balcony bigger, probably not because it's a structural thing. You can move the provisions for electric and water, yes. So you can move the laundry, but it's a bit limited. Oak West also did their show house, really like the layout. Yeah, Oak West, the oaks are always going to be pretty good. Crystal Oak, um, Oak Breeze, Brookside Oak, quality projects. I want to go look at their show house soon. They usually are okay with interior changes. Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on Astra Bay? Astra Bay is interesting. That developer is pretty good. If you don't have a big budget, you could try it out, or you just want to try it out. I don't know what the rental capacity is, and those studios can be kind of small. I wish they had like a 2 or 3 bedroom, honestly, because the top floor 2 or 3 bedroom over there for digital nomads and people that don't need to be that close to the city, kind of like Siokimau. That Kitsasuru, Lower Kabete area is very beautiful, pretty convenient, not too far away. I have a very favorable view about it. My only question is, what's the rents look like? I think you'll be fine. I don't think you lose money or anything, but I just I don't have any advisory on how well it'll rent for you. Is Pandora? Oh my gosh! I love Pandora. The 3 bed is at 24 million. The 2 beds are all sold out. So I don't talk about the bigger family size places, but yeah, I love Pandora. The quality's good. The concept's good. They're good people over there. They do good business. Um, the show house looks good. For a 3 bedroom, if you're in the market, everyone should look at Pandora if you're in the market for a 3 bedroom. It's Pandora, Gaia, Beacon, Luna Oak. Luck and Ivy has some 3 bedrooms. I don't know if you guys want to stay over there for 3 beds, though. There's a couple others that I'm not thinking about. But then it's interesting because then think about Mango Tree and Siokimau. You save a lot of money over there, but now you're further away. The other studios I'm talking about come with the 2 bed and are starting from 15. Wait, what? Oh, look, here's Franklin. Maybe you didn't get the email. Shay, what's going on, man? How are you? Oak management usually try and squeeze out agents who wanted me to buy without an agent. Probably why we haven't covered much from them, because I've tried to get in contact with them a couple times. They haven't been so eager. What is your preference between open plan and I like open plan. Kenyans like closed kitchen. I'm not comfortable with the house help thing. I think if you had house help, you would want a closed kitchen because then they could be in there cooking and you're not getting the smells and all that stuff or whatever. But I just don't live that lifestyle. So what's included? Renders can look nice. Then they pay almost everything. Yeah. I think that's still in conversation with Belgravia if you get those wall panels and stuff. When it comes to AB 1000 units is so much for me. What? Oh, yeah, but Astor Bay is more of like a working class situation and students and stuff. I I think for what it is good. Especially when if they get the right stores at the bottom, if they get a Nivus down there, it's going to be really good. J Blue, what's going on? Okay, so like I was saying before, Nairobi is at a crossroads with the planning, but also just because, like I was saying, the development is all the way over here, and the support systems, infrastructure management, trash collection, all that stuff is behind. It hasn't caught up. And something that I've been getting concerned about is the management of the buildings. So one thing that I've been educated on about the real estate here is that the Chinese really just came heavy the last 5-6 years since 2019. And they really changed the game, and they're the ones who are accelerating the speed of everything here. But because the industry is kind of young, or this, like what's going on is kind of newer, there's not good companies in place for certain things, like management. In the US, they have professional homeowners association companies that manage complexes, buildings, apartments, and they've been doing it for a really long time, and they have a lot of infrastructure, and they're all built up. I mean, I know there's PDM and some of these other companies, but there's not a big reliable player in the market. And so I fight with the management here all the time. I'm like, yo, why is this not fixed? Why is this not done? Why are they not refilling the sanitizer in the gym? Why is there a unfinished wall socket over here in the common area? What's up? And not here specifically, but I've been places, the pool's missing tiles already. Like, what's going on? That's a combination of poor finishing and workmanship that we always see here. But also, these management companies, the people managing the building are mediocre at best. Poor response time, not proactive. Also, though, people either are absentee or they don't complain and they don't speak up. So I walk around, I take pictures of stuff and send it to them all the time. Like, hey, when's this getting fixed? When are you guys doing this? This is messed up. And I'm sure they think I'm crazy, but like we all have a part to play is something that I always think of. But the reality is that these companies are not equipped to, they just have this laissez-faire, mediocre attitude. And I think that could be with good developers. It's definitely with the worst developers is even going to be worse. But like if me as the owner and we get people together and we want to hire a different management company for our building, Who would we hire? We would do it ourselves. That won't be much better, to be honest. There's not a player in the game that I'm aware of that we could bring in, and maybe it's more expensive, but they do a better job. If they keep playing around in the next 2 years, I'll end up doing it, just like the real estate, right? I tried to work with the local market here. I tried to, I tried to give them business. Then I was like, wow, this is a lot of business. Let's do some referrals. They done took the money and ran. Wow. Okay, great. Okay, well, shame on me. You know, I'll do it myself. So now we have Almasi Realty. We're training. Now we're going to compete with them. And obviously, I mean, it's not hard to beat them because they're not that good. Are we going to have to do that with management next? Because honestly, I feel like with a lot of things here, and it's going to sound arrogant or whatever, but if you want something done right here, you probably are going to have to do it yourself. That's why if you have a skill set coming here, there's a lot of opportunity. The 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 poor service in many sectors is annoying, but it's an opportunity. So I know when I talk to the Chinese, for example, Wonder Properties, the people here are creating a separate company for management. I know the people at Luminar are working on some sort of management solution. A lot of companies are looking into it now because the market is maturing and they're trying to catch the infrastructure up with the development. But I don't trust them either. So because we have a lot of people buying and every person asks, what do they do for management? And I don't have a good answer for them. For Airbnb or just managing their unit. But what I'm also talking about is the HOA, homeowners association, or the company that's going to manage the building, fixing the elevators, the pool, the gym, all that stuff. Big problem. And none of the developers have really a good answer for this. Even the developers I like, it's very vague, it's very theoretical. So that's another risk when we talk about the risk of buying here. And then that's also kind of the crossroad. Like, is a company from China or overseas going to come and take their expertise? You know, a company with 20, 30, 40 years experience in apartment management, are they going to come here and set up shop? And it sucks that we have to even talk like this, because why is there not a local company that does it? But I don't have a lot of faith in the local companies, to be honest. That's where you get the mediocre attitudes a lot of time. Not that it's everybody, but that's just, guys, I'm like really in it, like on the business side, and unfortunately, that's how you got to be. You know, I didn't make it this way. I wish it wasn't this way. I started off trying to put people on, trying to put the agents on, trying to, you know, I wasn't even really trying to make money off of it. But dang, you know, when we sent you so much business, they're winning awards at these developers, and then they just didn't pay us anything. It's like, okay, there's a lack of integrity here. So we'll do it ourselves. And our agents are, our commission plan is really good. So I can't wait for things that keep moving and don't want to pay to put the systems in place. Yeah, why does the security guard use a piece of paper, sign-in sheet? Like, what good is that? Like, what are y'all doing? I don't even write my real name. I just scribble some stuff. What kind of security is this? What if something happens? Sounds like you have another business idea. There's plenty of ideas. It's just execution. I can only do so much. There was one local company on Boris podcast. They said a lot of people don't want to pay for the service. Are they good? Kenyans don't want to pay for nothing. They'd rather just they'd rather let the property get all messed up than to pay somebody. But a lot of our buyers would pay if the service is good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how great businesses were created in America. True. Hi, Ryan. I'm loving the drive video. Yo, I'm so surprised you guys like the drive videos, but I appreciate it. That's crazy. We'll have to do some more. Until it's done, people will continue with mediocrity. Hey, Ryan. Happy Sunday. Allison from Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's going on? Thank you for all the very helpful info. And you are really in it. We appreciate you trying to make things better. Thank you. And I am trying to make things better. When I'm critical, I try to be productive when I'm critical. Just like this Nairobi planning thing, like I think there's some small things that could really improve the situation. Oh, I'm glad. I don't think about Riverside a lot when people ask about projects. Executive suites in Riverside, with their current pricing before groundbreaking is pretty crazy. Actually, it's really good. Plus, they're giving an extra 100K off on top of the other discounts that they have. Plus, we get you another 2% discount, or you get 200,000 Kenyan shillings off if you buy a 2-bedroom. Lots of good stuff there, and they've started their project. They're demolishing their current site. I just don't like the traffic on Riverside. I'm biased against it, but a lot of Kenyans really love Riverside. They view it way differently than I do, but it is considered a higher end place. And thank you guys for being members. There's a lot of you guys on here. I want to say thank you so much for supporting. I know I owe you guys a bunch of should you buy videos for Diplomat Gaia, executive suites. I got my quarterly report from my wealth management firm, the capital markets that I invest in here. I'm going to share those numbers. The return was crazy. That'll be in members only. All that stuff's coming. Some of that stuff might come by the time I get back to the US, where I can edit some of the stuff. Set an example others will see and believe. Yeah, we're starting with the real estate sales because that's my level. That's my expertise. We do property management in the US. One thing at a time, man. If other people have experience with this, come set up shop. You can have a monopoly because, guys, there's no competition here, to be honest. The way people do stuff is just, and I was in a particular developer's office, okay? And I was kind of talking about management being mediocre. And they're like, well, it's a third world country. Okay, first of all of you are sitting in front of computers and you have 2 phones. You have an iPhone and you have a newer iPhone, and you have a Galaxy phone or S something. What the heck does it being a third world country have to do with, why don't you have reminders set on your freaking computer? Why don't you have a trouble ticket? You have access to software too. You have a computer. The excuses. I'm sorry. Y'all be making some weak ass excuses. Oh, it's corruption. Oh, the government. What are you doing? Why are you writing a receipt on a piece of paper when the money comes in, and sending me a cell phone picture of my receipt when I make a payment? You're literally sitting in front of a computer. Why is the gate guard taking a log with paper? And he doesn't even know my name. I just put anything. There's a computer right here. What? Why? Where? Quanini. Why? What's going on? I don't understand it. Mediocrity. Drives me crazy. Do you ever worry you'll have to pay bribes to be in business? Do you know how much I have to pay for permits and licensing and stuff in the United States? Do you know how many pieces of paper you have to fill out and things that you have to do? You're paying anyway. Look, I'm built for this environment. Some people come here like, and they're appalled at how certain things work. I don't see the difference. Oh my God, I had to pay someone at the KRA to process my paperwork. Well, what's the application fee? I bet you the police. You get pulled over, the ticket's $150 in the US. What happens when the police stop you in Kenya? They act like the internet is just for email and social. It's a third world country. You have more devices than me. What are you talking about? Do you like Tusker beer? Yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's a little heavy for me. I think Nairobi, if they don't get their planning together, could destroy so much value and make all this investment go away. It's possible. But for all the people hating and complaining about stuff, the main road in Kilimani, Arguings Kodek, they redid the whole road. It's much better. There used to be a pothole at Galana and Lenana Road that was massive, and I would go by it every day. They fixed it. There's a big pothole. What road? Oleadume Road, I think maybe. They just filled it in yesterday. They're building a flyover on Gong Road. Gong. Was that better? Kenyatta Avenue, same thing. Talanta Stadium. SGR, Syokimau to Kisumu. Should it be a faster train? Yes, it should. Things are happening. Development is happening. Things are getting better. Waiyaki Way, they cleaned up a lot of the middle. Mombasa Road, they cleaned up a lot of the middle where it was junky. They put vines and stuff on it. It looks better. They've put trash cans around. Yes, the sidewalk's still messed up, so these nice trash cans just being isolated in random spots is kind of interesting. What other good things have I noticed? Gong Road again, much improved in aesthetic, especially in the median in the middle. Looks much nicer, looks better. Again, not trying to get into politics, whatever. They are doing stuff. Is the price inflated? I don't know. I'm seeing improvements. I'm still optimistic about the zoning and planning. I think they will come up with a better zoning plan. I just hope that it's not too late, and then I hope the enforcement they take more seriously. Because guys, like the building touching each other is a evidence of violating the zoning in the first place. Because there's you could clearly measure what the distance is supposed to be. And I get they're paying for special approvals or something, whatever. Um, you can't hide some of these things. Like it's clearly obvious this is messed up. Let's check out Lanana Road developments together. Sure, hit me up. Although I'm very busy. It's hard to get right now. Yeah, the facilitation fee. I don't know why that bothers people. I don't care. As long as they actually do it and don't just take the facilitation fee and keep it. Do you have any short-term rentals available? Studio would be fine. I just want to check out Kenya, like you say, instead of just jumping in. No, I would use Airbnb. Personally, it's more expensive than finding somebody to do it, but I don't really have access to like all that kind of stuff right now. Let's check it. Yeah. Oh, I agree with all the bribes in Kenya. It's still less than everything in the US. I will change my mindset and accept their corruption over ours. There, you know what you're paying for. Guys, again, I'm I'm in local politics. That's how I'm on the land development board and zoning board in my town. Kenya is not the only corrupt place. It's just legalized in the US. What do you think political donations are? I ran a political action committee before. I'm the political action committee that I was chairing. We'd receive checks from random people and places. How'd that happen? So don't be naive. And you Kenyans, guys, this corruption excuse, I'm not having it. I'm sorry. The whole world is corrupt. That's how life works. People work for their friends, they give favors, they do that's how stuff happens. It just happens in a much more sophisticated way in Western countries. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you. Send a super chat. Corruption is what is dragging Kenya. These cats sitting on tons of Colton. There should be free. No. There's no such thing as free. You just want other people to pay for it. I grew up in Westlands and Brookside. Used to just be single homes on half an acre. It was client saver for kids. Now, will the sewers see people ask that, but like, I don't know. What's the statistics on the sewer system? You're doing a great job. Thank you. Would you consider having a city official, someone involved with the city project zoning road, interview them for this channel? Yeah, I would love to. I would love to hear about, yeah, but this is Kenya. Those guys don't like talking, and it's not really my place to be getting too involved with. I don't want to, like, the problem is zoning and policy and rules is attached to politics, but it's not my place to really get like in the politics. I could talk about some of the best practices. Like I was saying, developers should be the ones responsible for fixing the roads and doing stuff. Easy fix. You'd have beautiful roads easily. It's not a big expense for them to fix the property outside. They could probably even add streetlights. They could do stuff. You can make them do it. All you need is the will and planning to get it done. But yeah, I don't want to, I'm careful with that. Just respectfully, how are you? I can't come to some other country and just be like getting all involved in all that stuff, Kenyan bribery is affordable. Western bureaucracy, not so much. Exactly. It's actually gives you have more opportunity. Because if you don't know somebody to get a permit to do certain kinds of things, you just literally can't do in the U.S. Kenny, you could do anything. The big the biggest problem with local management companies is taking on too much workload and thus ending up being inefficient because they don't use computers and systems. I don't get it. They'll give you a hand receipt. Why are y'all doing that? Can't even mobilize funds quickly enough to address maintenance issues because they're not doing business properly. What do you mean you can't mobilize funds? Why don't you have the funds? What are you doing? Lobbying is corruption, exactly. They are tearing down buildings along riparian lands and building two sewer lines parallel. That's good. Although this just randomly tearing down buildings is crazy. This is happening near Hefe and Diplomat, which is good. Safe for rich kids. Like, be serious, it was never kids in those mansions. Amazon is required to build new roads to their warehouses. Yeah, I mean, take advantage of the development and add make these guys as a condition of the approval to build, make them add trees, make them update the road, make them do stuff. Buildings touch each other. The complaints are all over social media, but I noticed developers are now taking into account views. If your project cannot guarantee views, yes. I'd like to say that I have a part to play in that because that's something that we spend a lot of time on. And can I say that the grout? I talked to the director of Warner Properties, and he's like, "We're working on the grout." And at the Diplomat, it was better, and they used a better grout material that I don't think will get stained. I think it's silicone based because it's a little shiny. It's not sanded grout. So let's not be too cynical and negative. We have to be balanced. We don't want to be overly optimistic, but we also don't want to be jaded, cynical, and negative. And being balanced, especially on the internet, is hard. But it's actually a commitment that I try to make is to be a normal person and don't go for because it's if I start talking crazy, I'm sure we'll go viral on Nairobi Gossip Club and all this stuff, and we'll get way more views. But no. Same thing with the business integrity. There's a lot of money with these developers. And some of them are seeing the value of what we're doing. We're maintaining the integrity of what we're doing. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of money floating around. uh, and if I could get it ethically, I will. That's why, so for example, instead of them paying us, I've been asking for these discount codes for purchases because then that works for everybody. And we get credit for the purchases, which we were not getting credit for before, and people were taking advantage of us. And now we have a little bit more control. That has been my solution. American president just no, that's all. I don't get how y'all say that's fake. Who is a typical buyer in these fancy developments? Um, they're doing installment payments generally. So you pay 20% deposit and then you pay over the 2, 3 years or however long the project's going to be done. I've consulted with people from Romania, Estonia, Sweden, the UK, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, other West African countries, the United States, Canada, somebody from Peru, somebody from, I don't even know where this place, Comoros, China, everywhere. A good amount of them are Kenyan diaspora as well. British, Canadian, US, Kenyan diaspora, very impressive people. Ethiopians, Somalis from Somalia that live in the US or other countries, Canada. It's literally the whole world. Nairobi is an international city. It's coming on the map for investment, business opportunity, retirement, tourism. It's so exciting. And that's why I think that the planning and strategy needs to catch up soon so that they don't blow this opportunity. The other thing that needs to happen is that whatever happens with taxes and rules, that money needs to find its way to among the people, trickle down, or however you want to say it. Trickle down's a horrible phrase these days, but that money needs to cycle in the local economy. It can't just stay in these foreigner enclaves. Grout is all you. Dang right. We be killing them for the grout. What's the number to contact you on WhatsApp? Please go through the website, fill out the contact form is the best way to get in contact with me. I have too many people contacting me. So our client coordinator, Grace, we'll have to, we got to figure out our content plan for Almasi and introduce you to the team. But Grace will help keep me organized because whew, it's a lot. So I'm sorry. I've been dropping the ball a little bit with some people too, guys, actually. I'm very sorry. Failure started in 1990s after the World Bank introduced structural adjustment programs that banned cities from providing public services. Y'all don't trust the government, but then you don't trust privatization. Make up your mind, bro. How do you want the government to do all this stuff and then they say the government's corrupt? Pick one. Privatization is better. Government wastes a lot of money and is inclined to corruption. Even Pandora tried with the grout. They tried. It's not perfect. Better than most. That's another thing, real quick. When you guys watch my content, especially about quality, I am basing it on a Kenyan standard of the other developments. I am not basing things off of the US. So I'm comparing projects to other projects. I'm not comparing it to the US. In Kenya, we complain a lot and it reaches the authorities. I try to be positive, but those Kenyan professional bloggers broke me. Now I give them a taste of their medicine. Wait, what happened? Tattoo City, for instance, is ran on the exact same regulations and bylaws that were created for Nairobi. Yeah, but do you want them foreigners in control of the whole city? It's weird, man. It's a weird place. And utopia doesn't work. It's too much control. At least you don't see xenophobia in Nairobi like you see in South Africa. They fighting the wrong people over there in South Africa. If Africa is so poor, how people there can apartment houses, cars, all without, because they save money and don't buy Gucci belts? If the African, yeah. There's people have money in Africa. Trust me, they got more money than me. I promise you. I'm at places where they definitely got more money than me. The rise of the old world. I'd like to think forming strong associations is going to be helpful. You can get a lot done when you have a few hundred owners on the same page. I'd even go, yeah. So I have the list of owners at my first property I bought. Um, I'm still working on some administrative stuff and I'm kind of busy, but yeah, we're going to fire the management over there because, but my fear is you fire the management and then what do you do? But it's something that's very important to have the owners groups and to meet and be proactive. And I will lead that when I can. Are the apartments in these developments leasehold or freehold? There are sectional titles. No one flying you out to the coast. We need the coast tour. Actually, we have a couple people that want us to sell their Airbnbs at the coast in Diani. I'm trying to convince them to pay for us to go out there and do the marketing because I'm not doing the videos. I'm not flying out there bringing someone to help with content and do all that for free. No. I've been offered to go to China as well, or alluded to. So we'll see what happens. I'll manage Almasi Coast Office for you. Let me know. Although I'm way far from getting to the coast because we have 2 employees. We're still working on that. But yeah, not Gucci belts. Americans are rich, but then we spend all our money. Car payment, $800 a month. Mortgage, $3,000. Property taxes. Y'all, people keep complaining about this leasehold, freehold. Go ahead, don't pay your property taxes. Yeah, my secret agenda when I go to China is find, I forget what city does the building materials because um, building some luxury villas off plan is definitely in the cards. We buy an acre, we build one show house, and then we do the second or third one on off plan after you see what we can do. 2, 3 years out for that, maybe 5. I don't know. Have you been to Thailand? Yeah, that's somewhere I want to go. Or Southeast Asia. Everybody is recommending the. Yeah, I haven't been, but I do want to go. Um, I don't really get into the whole black thing all the time, but I like Africa. It means something to me. So when people blacks it to Thailand after, never mind. Home's going for 140 million shillings in Lavington, looking into each other's window. Yeah, that's crazy to me. We're going to build stuff like that, not in Lavington, because I don't have that much money to do that. But I will not have people looking into each other's windows. They will be properly spaced out. 80% of America economy is consumer spending. Exactly. I can assure you that no one is buying houses and cars in Kenya without loans. It's just, I can assure you that they are. I know them. I promise you that they are. Some people are using loans, yes. Not blacks that, oh, sorry. I know. I usually don't get messy, but I am a little petty and light skinned. I've done very well in my older age of being mature, though. The internet's a weird place, man. I hope I never succumb to whatever happens to other people. That diaspora initiative guy builds on the coast. I don't know that guy. I've spent close to a year in all countries in Southeast Asia. I would still absolutely invest in East Africa. Hey, Franklin. Dr. Deca, $10 super chat. Like you said, corruption is worldwide, but I feel Kenya is an important country in Africa that has a more progressive, open, and welcoming society. That is why I'm choosing it. You know, I've talked to some other Ethiopian people and someone from Rwanda. And you see, in Rwanda and Ethiopia, things work much more straightforward. But the chaos of Kenya and Nairobi is what creates opportunity. I left the US because there's less opportunity because do you know how much time I would spend dealing with permits and inspectors and regulation and red tape and zoning and approvals? Like, you can't do anything because of all the rules. But some of these rules are important. But because Kenya is so open, it allows for a lot of opportunity. And that's why these crossroads are important for Kenya and Nairobi, to set smart rules that don't clamp down opportunity, but it doesn't allow people to wreck the city with crappy buildings and bad infrastructure and such. I know we're in the age of extremism in either direction, but balance is actually what's needed. So I think it's interesting when you compare Kenya to Ethiopia and Rwanda. Even people in Ethiopia and Rwanda see opportunity in Kenya. And that is somewhat of a result of the open environment that leads to some chaos. See, when you try to organize and structure things, now it's hard to move within the structure. It's very easy to overregulate or overplan. And the thing is, if you leave the system open, for example, this whole channel, we spent a lot of time trying to help you avoid the problems. So you see, if there's a developer that is unsafe or is bad at building or bad quality, we won't advise, like, you won't buy from them. And that could solve the problem, but still need some rules. That's my opinion. People running to Thailand and Vietnam because the rent there is about half of what it is in Nairobi. Both countries are really dope, but the opportunities there are not close to what's in Africa. I don't know. I don't want to be a whole minority walking around everywhere. The shade is real shade. He's on YouTube. Okay. The Wandering Lawyer. I'd say C is amazing as a religion to take a break or to get some time away. I agree, though, that there's nothing like Africa in terms of Southeast Asia. All for kicks. Hey, Ryan, been listening and multitasking. You were thinking of Foshan in China, building materials, also Guangdong and Guangzhou. I don't know how to say their words, have specific materials. I watched. Because what the Chinese do is they go back to China, they order the whole building, they select all the materials, and then they ship it. Let's talk about management issues in Jenny. What? Guys, I'm tired. I have to get up early. Hopefully, we delivered on the content today. I know it wasn't as good as when we had FKC because that was an awesome episode. Although, you know, the lives don't do good numbers after the live is over. Isn't that weird? I need a clipper that doesn't rob the bank. We did talk about the management issues. So, if you guys are thinking about buying in Kenya, please go to almasirealty.com/buy and work with us. We're really good, and we'll help you avoid a lot of these problems to the best of our ability. I know some of you guys think that the local agents know more information. Sometimes, but I don't know. Good luck. Yeah, we will. That's just a whole separate world with the houses. We're getting approached a lot. Actually, we'll list a house in Diani hopefully soon. Actually, okay, guys, go to our website because we have stuff on there. We have some resales on there. So for those of you guys who want immediate occupancy, you can actually use our search feature for that and see what you can buy immediately. Dang, y'all need to stop. Why y'all being mean to Austin? Austin has to travel because that's how he started his channel. That's what his audience is looking for. Oh, wow, $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Dr. Oh, my pronunciation. Aiko? Thank you. Hold on, let me, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. So on our website, we do have 2 land listings that we've reviewed. One of them is at the coast. All you guys that love the coast, it's in Mtwapa, which is in Kilifi County, but really it's not that far from Mombasa. 6.85 M, negotiable a little bit. And then we actually have some people selling Syokimau land. It's 18 acres, or no, it's 11 acres at 18 million an acre. That's 203 million Kenyan shillings. If you are looking to do a development or something like that, or know somebody, we do have that available. We did some verification of the land. They're real people. They actually own the land. And yeah, we could do it. The other thing is we have resales. So actually, we have a really interesting one. So we have a bunch at Emerald Springs. And then we have Scott. This one's in Westland, Sky Valley Residences. Only 8 mil for a 1-bedroom. Pretty cool. Here's the photos. Pretty nice, cool. Although, yeah, see, there's a building there. 8th floor. It's cool. It's on the other side of Waiyaki Way, but for the area, 8M is quite reasonable, I think. What else do we have? We have this one's in Kilimani. It's the top floor, asking 12.5. Better pictures coming soon. Bunch of Emerald Springs from 10, 9.5 million, different units, 15th floor, 14th floor, all 1-beds. You see the resale prices, though, guys, are quite high. Escada, 18M for a 2-bed. See resale prices again. And this is by Oscar and Elite Sanctuary Realtors. So you'd be dealing with him on this one. Escada has 270 rooftop restaurant, which I really like. And the quality in there is pretty good, actually. It's quite good. And then what else do we have? Here's a 1-bedded Escada, Got to get the price. It is pretty high, but I'm sorry, it's a studio. And I like how they do this little kitchen. We have one at Misty Springs, 2-bed, 14.5 M. Riverside 1, really beautiful views at this place. 3-bed, 24 M, kind of high, yes. Hopefully you guys are seeing the screen. Okay, you are. Luminar Showroom, August. The problem is most of it will be sold out by the time it's done, all the good stuff. Neptune, we have one at 9.5 for 2 beds. That's a pretty reasonable price. Diamond Oak, 4-bed, 28 M. So those are some of our resales that we have. So let me get back to the comments real quick. Yeah, I'm working on that. When there's a button to do it, but then it messes up our filters. So I've been trying to figure that out. Believe it or not, I've done the whole website myself. I've had to learn a lot. The other thing is I want to put a keyword search bar, but I haven't been able to make it work because the addressing system doesn't work in Kenya. And so the bar that's like the coding for it, for Google Maps and everything, does not work because they don't have zip codes and city, state, and all that the same way. So I'm trying to figure out a way, like if you put Diplomat comes up, or Westlands. But the filters do work, so I'd recommend using the different filters on there, and it will work. I think I have some information about the Fundi issue. AlmasiRealty.com, fill out the contact form, and you can send me a message. Can you show other real estate options for rent or buy other than high-rise buildings? We can. We have to verify the owners. We have to talk to them. They have to send us the listing information, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a bit time consuming because we don't just list anything. We'll be working on this, but I think like you guys, when you see the prices, you're going to realize why we're dealing with the apartments first. Do you know when Luminar? Yeah. August. I was thinking, oh yeah, okay. Oh, our favorite shea butter auntie. Yeah, I saw she was in Thailand. Guys, it's really hard for me because you really should wait for show houses, but if you wait for show houses, you'll never get a good unit or a good discount. So you have to have a good relationship with the developer and get in early. Executive Suites is in that phase. Belgravia is in that phase. But again, you haven't seen anything from the Luminar and Belgravia people yet, so I understand. But if you want the top floor at the lowest price, and you see the resales, you got to get in early. But Executive Suites, Wonder Properties, you know they've done a lot of projects. The Diplomat looks good, so that is a good property if you like Riverside. The discounts, don't even look at the prices they have listed because you can get it for way less. Great job on the site. Thank you. I know there's some funky things about it still. I'm still working on it. Thank you, though. And adding those properties, like the resales, trying to get rentals on there, land, we do a lot of vetting. But if you do want to sell something, let us know. We can list your stuff. If you want us to do marketing, though, there's a cost. But to just list it on the website, we just have a commission if we happen to sell it. But I recommend doing the marketing because then it'll get more attention. If you don't like the property after the show house, you can pass it on to someone else. Yeah, that's a good point. Best to grab the units early. Absolutely. The website's really good. Thanks. I'm constantly trying to update it. I know that it's still a little clunky, but doing the best we can here. I like the map search, actually. I recommend, if you're coming to Nairobi, use our map search and like look around so that you can understand the locations a little bit better. That's something that I did, is always look at maps. If you're visiting, when you're in an Uber, open your map and look around and see where you're traveling, how you're getting there, the different roads. If you really care about knowing about Nairobi or any place that you're at, it's a really good thing to do. Love the driving videos. Very helpful to see what's. Yeah, I'm trying to show the areas without getting harassed, because filming outside is always a problem. So the driving was our solution to that. I appreciate that. I really didn't think people would care about it that much. So it's good. Also, we've been doing more site visits to show you guys the site, help you select units. I've been trying to pay for drone stuff for the projects that we like, where, for example, Belgravia, we sent the drone up from a couple different angles where you would be buying from, so you could see what your potential view will look like. Again, this is stuff Almasi is doing to try to help you make a better decision. Dr. Deca, thank you. Thank you. Willis Wilson, thanks for being a member. Dr. Deca, $10 super chat and a member. Thank you so much. Dr. Ako, family doctor, $20 super chat. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the members and everybody commenting to make this always an interesting, fun time. If you guys need me, let me know. It's getting hectic. I'm sorry if I dropped the ball. Please give me a little bit of grace while I'm getting our system set up. We're building the plane as we're flying it, but the information is good. And we, if maybe we drop the ball, we will never drop the ball on the transparency, information, and guidance that we can give. Whether I'm in country or not, I can help. So I appreciate your guys' trust. I appreciate your guys' participation. And we're doing our best. So, I'm tired, guys. And it's a busy week. I've given myself a job. Why did I do this? But I love it. But I can't. I'm running in overdrive currently. All right, guys. Have a good day. Hopefully everyone's safe. Everyone's living their best life. Don't waste your life. And hopefully Nairobi gets the zoning and rules and enforcement together. See ya.